Ray Bradbury's Fahrenheit 451 is a dystopian novel set in a future American society where books are outlawed and firemen burn any that are found. The title refers to the temperature at which paper ignites, symbolizing the destruction of knowledge, free thought, and individuality. Through the journey of its protagonist, Guy Montag, Bradbury explores themes of censorship, conformity, and the transformative power of literature. The world of Fahrenheit 451. The society depicted in Fahrenheit 451 is one of superficial pleasure and oppressive control. People are bombarded with fast-paced entertainment from wall-sized televisions and distracted by constant noise from seashell earbuds. Intellectual engagement is discouraged, and books are considered dangerous because they provoke thought and dissent. Firemen, once tasked with extinguishing fires, now ignite them, specifically to destroy books and the homes that harbor them. This world is eerily sterile. Conversations are shallow, relationships are hollow, and history is forgotten. The government maintains control not through overt violence, but through the numbing of minds and the erasure of critical thinking. Guy Montag. The fireman who questions. Guy Montag is introduced as a fireman who takes pride in his work. He enjoys the spectacle of burning books and believes he's serving society. But his worldview begins to unravel after a chance encounter with Clarice McClellan, a 17-year-old girl who is curious, thoughtful, and unafraid to ask questions. Her simple inquiry, "Are you happy?" plants a seed of doubt in Montag's mind. Clarice's love for nature, conversation, and observation stands in stark contrast to the mechanical, disconnected world Montag inhabits. Her presence awakens something dormant in him, and he begins to question the purpose of his job and the society around him. Mildred, the hollow companion. Montag's wife, Mildred, epitomizes the emptiness of this society. She spends her days immersed in interactive TV dramas and listening to her seashell radio. When she overdoses on sleeping pills, Montag calls emergency services, but the impersonal technicians treat it like a routine task. Mildred survives, but she has no memory of the incident and shows no interest in discussing it. Their marriage is devoid of intimacy or understanding. Mildred is emotionally detached and hostile to Montag's growing curiosity. She represents the masses, content with distraction, fearful of change, and loyal to the status quo. The turning point, the woman who burned. Montag's transformation accelerates when he witnesses a woman choose to die with her books rather than live without them. She lights the match herself, turning her home into a pyre. This act of defiance shakes Montag deeply. He begins to steal books from the homes he's sent to burn, hiding them in his own house. His internal conflict grows. He's haunted by the woman's sacrifice, Clarice's disappearance, she's reportedly killed by a speeding car, and the realization that his life lacks meaning. He starts to read the stolen books, desperate to understand what they contain and why they're so feared. Captain Beatty, the voice of conformity. Montag's superior, Captain Beatty, is a complex antagonist. He's well-read and articulate, yet fiercely loyal to the anti-book ideology. When Montag fails to report to work, Beatty visits him and delivers a monologue explaining how society came to reject books. According to Beatty, books became problematic because they offended various groups. To avoid controversy, content was simplified and homogenized. Eventually, books were banned altogether, and firemen became enforcers of this new order. Beatty argues that ignorance is bliss and that conformity ensures peace. Despite his eloquence, Beatty is manipulative and threatening. He senses Montag's rebellion, but pretends to offer understanding, giving him 24 hours to return the stolen books. Faber, the mentor. Montag seeks help from Faber, a retired English professor he once met in a park. Faber is cautious but agrees to assist Montag in understanding literature. He explains that books offer depth, nuance, and the ability to reflect on life. But reading alone isn't enough. People need the freedom to think and act on what they learn. Together, they devise a plan to undermine the firemen's authority by planting books in their homes and exposing the hypocrisy of the system. Faber gives Montag a two-way earpiece to guide him during confrontations, the collapse of Montag's world. Montag's attempt to share literature with Mildred and her friends backfires. The women are disturbed by the emotional content of the poetry he reads and report him to the authorities. Mildred, terrified of losing her comfortable life, betrays Montag. Beatty arrives with a fire truck at Montag's house. Forced to burn his own home, Montag complies, but then turns the flamethrower on Beatty, killing him. He flees the city, now a fugitive hunted by the Mechanical Hound, a robotic enforcer programmed to track and kill dissenters. Escape and rebirth. Montag escapes to the countryside, where he meets a group of intellectuals led by a man named Granger. These book people have each memorized a book to preserve its content, waiting for a time when society will be ready to learn again. They live in exile, committed to rebuilding knowledge after the inevitable collapse of the current regime. As Montag joins them, the city is destroyed by war, an event foreshadowed throughout the novel. The book ends with Montag and the others walking toward the ruins, hopeful that they can help rebuild a more thoughtful and humane society. Themes and symbolism. 1. Censorship and control. Bradbury's central warning is about the dangers of censorship and the suppression of dissenting ideas. In Fahrenheit 451, censorship is not imposed solely by the government. It's embraced by the people, who prefer comfort over truth. 2. Technology and isolation. The novel critiques the isolating effects of technology. Mildred's obsession with screens and earbuds mirrors modern concerns about digital addiction and the erosion of real human connection. 3. The power of books. Books symbolize knowledge, empathy, and freedom. Their destruction represents the loss of critical thought and the rise of authoritarianism. Montag's journey is a testament to the transformative power of literature. 4. Conformity versus individuality. Characters like Clarice and Faber represent individuality and curiosity, while Mildred and Beatty embody conformity. The novel champions those who dare to think differently. 5. Rebirth and hope. Despite its bleak setting, Fahrenheit 451 ends on a note of hope. Montag's escape and the survival of the book people suggest that knowledge and truth can endure, even in the darkest times. Final thoughts. Fahrenheit 451 is more than a cautionary tale. It's a call to action. Bradbury urges readers to cherish books, question authority, and resist the seductive pull of passive entertainment. In a world increasingly shaped by screens and algorithms, his message remains as urgent today as it was when the book was published in 1953. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.